Fools there.
What a bunch of marks that these idiots that we're about to podcast for. Oh, hello.
Oh, I have on tank top. Shit. Hey, guys.
Oh. Is this thing not working? There it is. You should start an OnlyFans though, Trevor. People would pay to see that.
Dude, it would be me like cooking, like and singing opera songs.
It would be me cooking, all right. Cooking on there. Hey, you guys, what's up? How's everyone doing? Job says, "Hey, you can't start and stop unless Trev wasn't dressed." Oh, CC says, "Oh, a show. Yeah, this is the preview to Trevor's latest endeavor on the internet called Only Trevs. Only real Trevs get to see. Someone tell Trevs." Guys, I apologize for that. I jumped the gun because I wanted to do a bit and then I didn't realize. So, apologies to Trevor. By the time you guys watch this on the replay, that will have been ancient history and will never be seen by a single soul except for the three people that saw that just now. Hope everyone's doing well. Trevor, how are you doing?
I'm beat, but I'm good.
Re-effing tweet, my friend. Re-effing tweet. I am also beat, and I don't know if I'm good. So this weekend I had the Job's favorite show. Blessings to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if I can say the same. I did go to my first game in Wrigley Field this week. Me and my friends made it on the Jumbotron because of our synchronized dancing.
Awesome.
That was a thing that happened. It was actually Marcus. Yeah, I don't know if you remember him.
Marcus. Yeah.
Big shout out to Marcus. Also big shout out to my friend Hannah who graduated grad school. On top of that, did end up going to Las Vegas for Double or Nothing. Yes, that is the name of the pay-per-view. Double or Nothing.
And you had a ball there, I'm sure.
I did, and I also had a lot of people online like complaining, which we will get to about that whole thing. I got in trouble online with WWE stands because I dared to post facts about a wrestling show. Anyway, still better than what Ango's going through this week. Ango's getting so it was funny. I was talking to him, and he was like, he's getting a lot of crap this week from AEW fans because of something he said about WWE. Because like he posted online like after the Night of Champions pay-per-view, he really loved it, and a lot of people really loved it. I didn't watch it, but a lot of people really loved it.
Yeah, they did.
And he said that, hey, like just based off that Jey Uso Roman Reigns moment, which was a cool moment in my opinion, he said that WWE is the greatest professional wrestling company in the world, which is fine. If you ask me, I'd be like, it's a fine, okay. It's not like he said, like, I think people took it out of context because they're like, oh, that's a shot at AEW. I'm like,
no, that's his opinion. He does this show. This is his show. He can have his own opinion. That is his opinion.
It's his opinion. And also, like, on top of that, I'm like, it's not a dig at AEW to say that WWE. People are going to like different things. Some people like Coke. Some people like Pepsi. Some people like a bit of both. It's okay. I don't get.
I mean, WWE's been around for so long. Like, I mean, you expect people not to, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But at the same token, like, I mean, as long as you're not an ass about it, you're allowed to be like, oh, I disagree, but like, don't say he hates AEW because it's not a dig at it. It's not.
No, and people just have people just want to be mad on the internet. That's the real issue that we face. MJF in his post-show press conference actually laid this out beautifully. he said that like, about 7% of the people who watch AEW are on Twitter. So
Right.
like 7% of the audience is on Twitter. And it's a very loud, vocal, and for the most part, very tribal and toxic group, which is true. Like wrestling fans like have the worst reputation on Twitter,
Right.
like because they're the worst. They will take anything you say out of context on purpose just to be mad, just to fill an empty void in their hearts and all that stuff. It's I don't know. I didn't appreciate like the way they treated him. I know I didn't appreciate the way they treated me, because of something I said. Because anyway, okay, I'll just get this done off the top, and then we can get into the show because I know we have a lot
Gotcha.
of stuff to get through. I'm sorry, I just wanted to complain about this. Um, so at Double or Nothing, I was sitting on the side that faces the camera, right? So
Gotcha.
like if you watch the pay-per-view, you could see my dumbass jumping up and down like throughout the like literally if I point out to you, Trevor, like where I am in the pay-per-view, you just be like, this dude won't stop jumping. Why is he jumping all the time?
I'll probably tell you, like, what
No, like
the.
literally. Anyway, so I was sitting there, and so all the videos that I was taking and I was posting, all the pictures I was taking and I was posting, they were from that side. And on the other side, you have the camera.
Right.
So it was all the wrestlers in the background you have a bunch of empty seats because that's where the cameras are. I had people telling me that AEW like didn't sell tickets to the show. And I'm like, sir, like literally all but 2 sections of this like arena are full.
Right.
It's like those 2 sections that every wrestling company, including WWE, right, when they're running a show in an arena like that, they always block off sections for the camera. WWE's on it. WWE once blocked off half a stadium
Yeah,
for
they did.
SummerSlam, and that's not a dig. It's just
It's facts.
it's how you do it. It's how you shoot a wrestling show.
Yep.
So, but
I've
people
seen
didn't
them
want
do
to
it.
believe
Like,
that.
they've done it. They did it for the very first AEW. The only section that they blocked off was the top sections. Like, if you remember correctly when
Yep.
you were there, they only blocked off the top sections. Like anything from the second floor like down was pretty much open.
Yep.
But they basically blocked off third floor, second, and fourth floor.
And it's like I had people telling me it's like WWE would never do this, and I was like, dude,
They've done it.
I said Google, like, first of all, I've been the last WWE show I went to, they blocked off a few sections. So and that's not, and again, not a dig at WWE. It's just what companies do.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't, and look, it doesn't take away the fact that like AEW had 10,000 people in the building. Like they were able to move a lot of tickets over the last like week or two.
They definitely did.
Those four. They were selling them four tickets for $40 deals. That's what really helped move this stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because like the last Raw I went to was exactly like that. The way they shot it, they only shot half of the stadium because like most of it was blocked off. And again, that's not a dig. That's just the truth. It's the God's honest truth. Like you don't see them do it at like indie shows because most of the time it's a smaller venue.
Yeah.
They don't do it as much. But they do it at almost every big promotion.
Damn, Marks don't even know what hit him. Anyway, I don't know. That was one of my mini rants. I will probably go on another one about Fight TV later on today. But guys, we want to hear from you. Put your questions in the chat. Let's start talking. Job in the chat says, "Didn't think it could happen, but how about those Miami Heat?" Yeah, Miami beat them Celtics. I'm so sorry to hear that, by the way, Trevor.
Oh, dude, I thought it was over a long time ago.
Like, this is just extra credit I was getting. Did it hurt more? I think that's my question. Did it hurt more the fact that y'all clawed your way back up from down 3-0, only to lose in Game 7?
It would have hurt. It would have hurt a lot less if both teams were actually playing good.
Damn.
Now that is a dig.
I mean,
because
yeah.
the truth of the matter is this: not taking anything away from Jimmy buckets or the Miami Heat, but if you're so elite, why didn't you end it 5 games ago?
Oh, that's a salty fan in you talking. That's a very salty
And,
fan in you talking.
and again, if the Celtics were so good, why did it go? Why did it take that? Why did it take that to get you, start back up? If you were that good, you should have been able to beat them before all this. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I've been watching the basketball playoffs this year, and honestly, to me, the best team is the Nuggets. And the games haven't really been that great. Like, they've just been, some game. There's been certain games that were great, but all in all, it's been, mediocre basketball.
I thought the first two rounds were really good.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
the first two
definitely,
rounds were really good, and
definitely.
then I don't know. It's like I mean, the Western Conference Finals were really weird. I mean, not weird, but they were just like the Nuggets just were better. Like everyone kind of knew
Yeah,
it. Like, the Nuggets were better. And like, and you got to the other side, like the Heat kind of almost collapsed like before our very
mm-hmm.
eyes, which was not great if you're a Miami fan. But I will say this: it's gonna. I hope it's a fun series,
I hope so.
and
It may not be though.
I mean, yeah, Joker might just be like, "I am sick of this." Smash. Um, but we'll see. We'll see.
And
We
that's
got
what
Kervin in the chat. Kervin the Brave saying, "I know this is a wrestling channel, but put some respect on the Miami Heat." I mean, we just did. We just did. But they're gonna lose to the Nuggets. We'll talk about AEW in just a second. Trevor, how was your homeland? How
Oh
was
man,
how was the shrimp with the Earl?
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We went to a couple of places. Took my friends to a couple of places. Best some of the best gumbo in the city. Um, we saw literally New Orleans, one of the few places where the strippers come to you. Um,
I can say the same thing about Vegas.
yeah. There was a point in time where we talked on the show last week where I had a chance to talk to this very nice young man from Ninth Ward, lower Ninth Ward, and he's about 20 years old. This guy's name is Amani Kimani, I think it was his name Kimani, and he was playing drums on the street on his bucket, and he's very good, very very good. And he started talking to me. And he asked me where I live, and I said, well, originally I live in DC or whatever. He goes, oh, he said, man, I know they got that go-go up there. He's like, do you think I can make it? And I was like, do you think you can make it in go-go? He's like, yeah, man. He just started showing me his skills, and he said a lot of his buddies are putting him onto it. He's listening to it, and he started telling me his story. Like he's 20 years old, has a 2-year-old, 3-year-old son. Um, doesn't really have much money, doesn't really have much jobs because there aren't many jobs in New Orleans at the moment. And he was just telling me what he does to make money. He plays his drums and everything. And he doesn't lift a hand to do anything underhanded, nothing criminal wise.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually very great conversation with that kid. Like it shows you that all youth isn't screwed. It's not. It's kind of like their environment is screwing him, and that's what's going on with him. But yeah, it was great, man. It was an eye opening experience because I hadn't been. It's only really been 2 years, but like it's also like a lot has changed in 2 years. Like when we were there before, there was a cop on every corner. When we were there this time, there was barely any cops at all. And yeah, so it was sad, but it was also refreshing. Even though the world around us is crumbling, you saw the people in New Orleans having a great time. They were still partying and doing everything that they normally do. So it was refreshing and depressing at the same time, but mostly refreshing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's unfortunate. That's like a lot of places, not even in this country, around the world, like
I want to work in general, yeah,
just getting by and trying to enjoy life as much as you possibly can.
yeah, man. it's funny because people always say, I don't know if you ever heard the saying, like people consider New York like its own country, like it's New York and everybody else, and that's kind of how New Orleans is. So New Orleans is like an island that people forget about, especially after Katrina. Like so many dilapidated buildings, so many like forgotten businesses. Like it's like where we stayed. We were staying in Bywater in Louisiana. If anyone knows, well, New Orleans, if anyone knows what anything about New Orleans, and right across the street are these gentrification type buildings. But these buildings have a bunch of graffiti. Next to it is a building that's been vacant for years, and then next to it is a building that's been open for years, and like it still looks like the building has been vacant for years. Like it's interesting. It's interesting to see.
I'm glad you got to go there, and I'm glad you got to get that experience again, man. I know how much you love the city.
I do. I love New Orleans. I do. I mean, I like DC too. I do. But
which one's better? I'm putting you on the spot right now. Which one's better, New Orleans or DC? Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know, kid.
If you're talking about jobs, DC. I mean, even though the crime rate is pretty high on both, but I didn't say that. Mm-mm. Oh, did you enjoy Las Vegas, good sir?
No, I hated it actually.
Was this your first time going, or
first time going? Likely my only time ever going. I don't think. Look, it's a vibe, but it's not my vibe. I will say that.
I can see that for you. For you, and I can see that.
It's got nothing to do with like. I want to be clear, right? It's what it is. To me, during the day especially, the buildings looked cheap. The roads were dirty. The people were like relentless in their pursuit of trying to charge me $18 for a selfie that I didn't want to take.
That sounds like
that I didn't take. I did not take any selfies because people were trying really hard when I was stopped at a stoplight. And then started yelling at me like I had freaking Spider-Man and Black Panther like on a corner. I'm just trying to get to Taco Bell and they're over here like, oh, he's like, you want to take a picture with me? Wakanda forever. And I'm just like, bro, like, didn't you die in the last movie? Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't. For R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
Too soon.
but you know what I'm saying, right? I'm just like, yo, like. Leave me alone. Like I was in one of. It's also because during the day I was in one of those moods during that day. I was just like, you know how sometimes you just want to like, the way I do cities, right? New places, especially when I'm traveling by myself. Like I was meeting up with a friend later on, but the way I do cities when I'm traveling by myself is, I like to just walk around, like people watch a little bit, like pick up the vibe, see what's going on, just like explore on my own, right? Quietly. In the background. I don't like to be the center of attention. I don't really like to talk to people much when I'm in one of those moods, right? That's all I was doing. I was like, bro, like I love it, respect it. I don't want a selfie. And he just would not take no for an answer. No did not mean no to that, man. Anyway. So I mean that wasn't just, it was just really dirty. It was like also the casino isn't my vibe either. People were smoking indoors, which blew my entire mind.
Yeah, I think that's allowed in Vegas.
Yeah, I was just like I was like, what are we in like Mad Men? Like what's going on here? But yeah, it was definitely an interesting vibe. I mean, look, if you're going with friends and all that stuff, I'm sure you'll have fun. But
I think it's better with going with friends. I think that's one of those cities you can't really go by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I did, and I got some good shopping. Their H&M was quality. I also went to Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen.
How was that?
It was good. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. No, it was good. It was really good. But I went to In-N-Out Burger too. Whenever I'm in the Pacific time zone, I got to go to In-N-Out Burger to like get the vibe.
Of course.
I did go, in fact, to a wrestling show as well. In fact, that wrestling show, Trevor, was
Oh, all out.
Bro, it was all out. It's
I don't
May,
know.
double or nothing.
Double or nothing, dude. I don't know. I'm tired.
I'm the dude on 2 hours of sleep here, and you're out here like, yeah, it's September, all out.
I had like four, maybe, so I understand.
Oh man, that's fair. I think Job in the chat asked Trevor, "What did you think of AEW Double or Nothing?" Let's talk about it. AEW did have a pay per view this weekend. I was there live. Um, it was I like shared some thoughts of mine earlier, but I want to hear from you, Trevor. What did you think about the pay per view?
I think if you counted just the some of the early card, it was just okay. I think that a lot of the bigger matches did help it become good. Um, it wasn't a bad pay per view by a long shot. It wasn't a terrible pay per view. It was just good. I wouldn't say it was great. Wouldn't say it was amazing. I would say it was just good.
What'd you think about? This is what I'm really curious about. What'd you think about the crowd?
The crowd was interesting, right? Because like they weren't. This was definitely not AEW's best crowd.
Mm.
It wasn't their worst crowd by a long shot, but it wasn't their best crowd either.
And why do you think that is? I'm
Well,
curious because I was like I was there and I heard a lot about the crowd.
is this some of what you thought too, or
So no, I think there were a lot of people online after the show who were saying that this crowd was dead, that you couldn't hear anything, they weren't chanting, they were
no, I don't think they
disengaged.
were dead by a long shot. No, not at all.
Yeah,
Like I think they were trying to do their best, but I don't also just don't think they were in it like they normally were.
I as someone who was there, I think AEW messed up the miking of the crowd.
Okay. Okay.
As someone who was there, they were there was one match where people were kind of like whatever about, and I think it was like they were kind of quiet during the Jericho Adam Cole match.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
people had left to like. It also did not help that at the beginning of the show, there were like thousands of people in line for merch. AEW there were 3 floors, right? 3 floors at this venue. AEW had 3 merch stands for the entire stadium. So you had thousands of people lining up around the stadium to get merch. So that didn't help things. That didn't help get people in there and get them into the mode of watching the show.
You
But
know that's not the first time they did it. Do you remember the
every
first
show,
show?
it's
Yeah,
every
but you
show.
remember their very first Dynamite was just like that. They had one near where I normally worked in Capital One Arena, and then they had one on the other side, and they had one on the fourth floor.
It's every single show they run. Like they have not gotten better at this, and it's like one of my biggest critiques of theirs. Like, dude, you're multi-million-dollar. You have the second. Figure out merch. It's not that hard. Just
It wasn't
hire
hard.
more staff for merch and just you have the money to do
It's
it. Just
not a
do it.
money thing. It's not a money thing. We know it's not a money thing.
I just I don't know what it is. Excuse me, but no, I mean anyone out there who thinks that the crowd wasn't into it, like I just disagree. Like we were loud. It was just like I think it was. It's weird. AEW, I think that for whatever reason they muffled the crowd noise. I don't know why that you would do
And you know
that.
what? When you listen to certain matches, you can kind of hear that, which is why I said that it wasn't a bad crowd. Just it wasn't their best crowd in my opinion. But listening to
We were
you,
so loud. Okay, like Anarchy in the Arena,
oh yeah, pretty loud.
so loud. So
Yeah, that was pretty loud.
we
Yeah,
were really loud. There were like I watched a few clips back, right, and I was like, yeah, wow, we were like chanting, and the crowd like just seemed like muffled and silent, and I'm
yep.
like, yeah, that I don't know, because you can see me especially. Well, look out for me, because you know damn well when I'm chanting, I'm doing this.
Oh, of course.
I'm
And
doing this.
plus,
I'm you
you
know
already
like
said you were marking out for Anarchy in the Arena. You already said it. I knew it was gonna happen.
oh first of all I was marking out for everything on that show. Like I want to let me be clear, guys. I am a wrestling fan. You put it in front of me. Odds are I'm gonna mark out about it, unless it's like go. What was that, Jackson Riker? I'm not gonna mark out about that. But
There are a lot of wrestling fans in New Orleans actually they were doing like backyard wrestling while in the middle of like Bourbon Street while me and my buddy were walking down.
Looks like the dog got on CC's phone again.
Yeah, damn dog.
Kerwin also says something. He says, "Damn AEW Double or Nothing. I saw a lot of empty seats." Tony Khan. No, okay. Again, I think we addressed this earlier. I just want to readdress it. There were two sections of the stadium or of the show or of the arena. There we go. That's the word. There were two sections of the arena that were closed off for AEW's equipment that WWE also closes off for all of their shows. The rest of the bowl was like full packed to like people were there. There were 10,000 people there. And I don't want it to come across as like, oh my God, AEW. It's not Cope. It's not like me defending AEW. I'm just like, it's more so like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't like false narratives of either wrestling company to go like out there. There's a lot of things you could criticize AEW for. I just think like that is not indicative of the build. What's indicative of the build was the fact that, you know, ticket sales stalled for a very long time. And it had nothing to do with, oh, this was too small or too big of an arena or whatever. It had everything to do with the fact that you had, like, 2 weeks out of the pay-per-view, you had one match announced. Like, that's always going to hurt your ticket sales.
Right. Agreed. Like they didn't. This one, like you said last week, this one didn't sell well at all. And I actually did my own digging and looked at the tickets. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. The price drop.
I was so mad about that price
I know you
drop.
were.
I was like, 4 for $40, Tony. 4 for $40. I could have brought the crew out with me. 4 for $40. Although those seats probably would have been like, whoop.
Yeah, deep, and you probably would have got like, they probably put you in another seat.
No, I would have been like, which one's that? I think it's John Moxley. It can't be John Moxley. It's got long hair.
Yeah, it's got to be Moxley. It's bleeding, right? Yeah, that's Moxley.
It's bleeding. It's a bleeding, right? It's got to be Moxley. Oh my God, that's pretty funny. Job is relentless with this WWE hate. It's like a pipe and freight crowd. No, it's like WWE does.
He does not like WWE. He has said this plenty of times.
It's like he is sick of this gosh darn wrestling company on this gosh darn TV.
Gosh darn it.
So let's quickly run through some of these matches. We can talk about the main ones a little bit. So opening up the card, we had Orange Cassidy versus 20 other men in a blackjack battle royal for the AEW International Championship. He won by last eliminating Swerve Strickland. Swerve. Swerve. I was the only. Okay, here's one thing I would say. People were really emptied, or people were really quiet during Swerve's entrance. I was singing along the entire song. And the dude next to me was like, "You actually know the words?" I'm like, "Bro, it's Swerve. Who's how?"
Swerve's house.
I yelled, "Whose house?" Nothing. And I was like, "Damn, I guess not." Like,
I actually thought the back and forth with him and Swerve was actually very good. I loved the back and forth with him and Swerve. The match wasn't terrible, but I like the back and forth with him. It was really good.
Yeah,
I think they helped each other out a lot.
My favorite thing is how Orange Cassidy won by just like kind of like flipping like Swerve's hands. I was like, I'm done. I'm too tired for this. I'm not gonna do no orange punch. I'm going home.
It was a decent match. I liked it.
Good. I thought it was a very good opener.
Yeah, same.
And up next, you had Adam Cole, baby, with Roderick Strong and Sabu. Versus.
It was very interesting to see his old bones jump through a table.
But he did it. But he did do it. He got a clashing of the chairs like thing with Chris Jericho, and then he put himself through a table. Old ass, broken down.
Hey, when you're crazy, you're crazy. Age doesn't take it away.
Have you seen him on Twitter? He's definitely crazy. He has said some very, very. I'm honestly surprised considering what I've seen on his Twitter. I was like, I'm really surprised that AEW let him come on the show. Like, I'm sorry, with Jay Briscoe, you didn't allow Jay Briscoe, like Warner or whoever, right? Warner didn't allow Jay Briscoe on the show, but Sabu,
Yeah, it was a little. Yeah,
that was a little bit. A little bit.
little-
Whatever. One thing I will say about this match, the finish was really. It came across really bad in person.
yeah.
Like the crowd started boo. We started booing because it was
It
weird.
was
It was
fast,
ref
wasn't
stoppage or whatever, or
it?
TKO, whatever it was.
Yeah. I thought it could have ended better than that.
I got what they were going for though, because like they're going for like Adam Cole doesn't want to pin. Like if it would have been weird if he pinned Chris Jericho after like having this blood feud, right?
Right.
I think you could have had him submit Jericho. Ref stoppage just is like whatever, but I think
It's a cheap way to keep the feud going, I think.
that's what Tony Khan also I think alluded to in his post show press conference. He said that like and this is like and getting like a non-definitive win over Chris Jericho, this could be the opening of an extension of this feud, and we'll have to see what happens on Wednesday night Dynamite 8 p.m. TBS. I love Tony. I love Tony. But like, come on, like every answer, just like, yeah. Tony, CM Punk coming back. Well, I can't answer that. There are a lot of things that need to be worked out internally. We are really excited about the roster we have here at AEW with AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays, and then now Collision on Saturdays and Rampage on Fridays. We are working towards a better roster every single day, and I think we're gonna put on a great show for our partners at Warner Brothers Discovery.
That's him.
I love
That
Tony.
is Tony. That is Tony to a T.
Oh man. Anyway, weird finish on that match. Up next, you had FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal for the FTW for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Mark Briscoe is the special guest referee. There was a lot of stuff in this match that was wild. First of all, Jeff Jarrett, ageless wonder.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Like, you literally, the way you watch a Jeff Jarrett match is you wait for him to do something he always does, which is like he does the same move like 17 times in a match. And then, but he always tries to shock and awe, which is fine. I mean, honestly, the man does not age. He doesn't look his age. He looks damn good shape, looks pretty good. Like, he moves really well. Like, you got to give it to him. I hate to give him anything, but you got to give it to him.
Yeah, one thing Jeff Jarrett also did give, he gave it to Mark Briscoe already, a guitar shot right across the head.
Sure did.
To one referee, and then as Aubrey Edwards, this was like crazy.
That was a shocker for me. That was a shocker for me.
Bro, Aubrey Edwards got hit with a guitar from Karen Jarrett. To which the crowd, you can definitely not hear this on the thing. I watched it back. I was so mad about this. They 100% muffled the crowd noise. The crowd, as she did that, went from "oh" to "f you Karen" chants, which we proceeded to chant the entire night, or the rest of the match at Karen Jarrett. Yeah, that was. Interesting match. I thought it was a good match. I like this is as good as it's going to be. Mark Briscoe, gotta love him. Like first pinfall attempt, he forgot he was the referee and he just like looked at him. He's like, "Oh snap, one."
Sorry. Mark Briscoe. We love Mark here.
Joe said, "I heard it live. Hell yeah, we did it. We made it. Something finally made it on TV. We were loud, guys. We were loud. I don't know what happened to it. Tony Khan, turn up the mics. That's all I got to say. Turn up the mics. Next, we had Wardlow defending the TNT Championship against Christian Cage in a ladder match. Way more entertaining than I thought. And also, this is the part that got me in trouble with Fight TV. I'm currently in a YouTube dispute with Fight TV over a 30-second video of Wardlow jumping off a ladder, doing a swanton bomb through a table.
Why?
Because they flagged it and they gave the channel a strike. So I shall fight this. Get it? fight this. I shall fight this, and y'all wanna help out. Let Fight TV know to uncancel Real Take Wrestling. Let them know. Uncancel. Uncancel. Let's do it. No, but in all seriousness, that spot, Trevor. That spot.
Yeah, that spot was that was
Wardlow
interesting.
off like a 20-foot ladder, a swanton bomb down to Luchasaurus through 2 tables. I was like, sir, don't hurt yourself. Like,
You're a big guy, dude. Like, yeah, that was interesting. That was definitely interesting.
Yeah, we got Job in the chat saying Christian's probably got the most heat, only to MJF. He's up there for sure. He gets a lot of heat in AEW.
He definitely does. Him, Jeff Jarrett gets a lot of heat, but probably not as much as Christian or MJF.
I think who's gonna get a lot of heat when they get back in some towns? CM Punk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of heat.
Also, Don Callis. Don Callis gets so much heat.
Oh, I love Don. God, I love Don.
Why, Kanosuke? Why? Can we just talk about Anarchy in the Arena right now?
Sure. Let's talk about it.
All right. So that was the pay-per-view itself was really good. That match, Anarchy in the Arena, was worth the price of entry for me.
Yeah.
That by itself.
So good.
This might be like what it's 100% my favorite match I've ever watched live. Like, it was so good. There was so much happen. There was one point where the Young Bucks did like a super kick to someone on the ramp, and I look to my left, and then I look to my right, and Kenny Omega is wielding this like comically, I don't even know what it is. It's like the size of 2 Kenny Omegas, this pipe.
Yeah.
Or this railing, something. And he's like hitting Moxley across the back with it. And I just go, what the like, what? What is happening?
They talked about the Jimmy Uso being the super kick heard round world. No. The super kick heard round world was an exploding super kick to the face of John Moxley.
I thought you were gonna say it was to the guy in the band who was wearing blackface.
Oh, that was yeah.
So when I was there live, I didn't like notice that. Obviously, I watched it back, right? Because I was like watching the highlights back, and I was just like, "Is that a mask or is he? Oh, he was paint. That's paint, sir. What are you doing? We don't do that." It's so bad. Yeah, definitely some oofs on this show.
That was a big oof. That was a big oof.
I was like, it was a catastrophically sized oof. Anyway, but I didn't book it. I wouldn't book it. That was not great. Anyway, but yeah, no. The exploding super kick. I was joking with there's a guy next to me who I was like going back and forth with, like in a very positive way. We were
right.
having fun at a wrestling show. We were going back and forth, and I like at one point, like during the night, I think it was for like Jade Cargill's 60th win celebration. They brought out like these cannon looking things, right? And they were like confetti shooters. But the guy goes like, "You think they're fireworks?" And I was like, "They might be. They might be." And then I was like, "No." And like we were really disappointed they weren't fireworks. But then like Matt Jackson delivers this fireworks super kick, and we we're like, "Oh yay, fireworks! Fireworks! Fireworks!"
Yo, how do you you have to be a twisted individual to just sit back there and like, what am I gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna kick John Moxley in the face with fireworks. John, you okay with that?
You have to be a twisted individual to book yourself getting your face planted in on thumbtacks. The Young Bucks are insane.
Yeah.
Your face. I'm saying, yeah, his face, like not his feet, not his back, his face. No. Tony, you couldn't pay me. I said, no, you definitely could pay me, but you shouldn't pay me to do that.
Yeah, that was big. I was like, wow, Jesus, no stops. Pulling out all the stops.
Yeah. Of course, in the end, Konosuke Takeshita came out, attacked Kenny Omega. and cost the Young Bucks and the Elite, and they cost the Elite the match.
Rolled him up in a seatbelt. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys probably didn't see this, but after the show, Kenny Omega took to the microphone, and then he sent us home, right? But he said, "Well, it looks like it's 5-4. Good thing is I have a friend or two that might help even the score." And afterwards, the man, the myth, the legend, Kota Ibushi, who talked about Konosuke Takeshita, like basically like dragging him, and I was like, "Are we getting Kota and the Elite versus the Blackpool Combat Club with Konosuke Takeshita? Blood and are we getting first of all Kota Ibushi in AEW? Yes.
Yes.
The Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi in AEW? Yes. Blood and Guts with all these guys?
Dude, that's the next move. Blood and Guts is the next move.
I'm a twisted, sick individual. There's going to be buckets of blood in that match.
Which is why I don't understand why you don't like death matches. Deathmatch wrestling.
You want to know why? Because to me, it's like very meaningless. Like here's the thing, right?
I get it.
When it's meaningless, and it's like I can't watch an entire card that is just deathmatch. Like that'd be too much.
That's cool. That's one thing. If it was a feud, but if it was an entire card, I get it. Yeah.
It's just like look, I will see Nick Gage for the novelty of seeing Nick Gage. Like that, I understand. It is a novelty to see that man slice someone's head open. Anyone who is not a wrestling fan who's watching this, turn this off right now. You're never gonna understand. You will never understand.
No.
We got on barefoot on the tax. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, we had the Four Pillars 4-way match. A lot of people thought this was the match of the night. MJF picking up the victory over Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and Darby Allin. This son of a gun won the match with a headlock takeover on Darby.
So I have a question for you. And I was watching this or whatever, and I noticed that there was a lot of him and Darby in this match, which and he was also the last person to be pinned by MJF. Do you think they're gearing up for something?
I think Darby is definitely in contention to be the guy who ends up beating MJF.
That's what I'm thinking. Because at first, I know you recall, I thought it was Sammy Guevara. I really did think it would be Sammy Guevara.
It is his moment to shine. It is his time to fight. Sammy Guevara gonna fight all night.
And also, big shout out to Sammy Guevara and Taya. Congratulations on their first child, welcome their first child.
I don't know if this came across in the arena. Sammy Guevara went from a heel to a face, like for the rest of the match. Like after that was announced, so I was like, "Oh, look at it! It's so cute. He's gonna be." I literally remember. I think
have you seen their pictures?
I think Darby Allin, I think Jungle Boy Jack Perry kicked him in the face, and I was like, "No, he's gonna be somebody's father. Don't do this."
Yes, because you can't be someone's father with a craved in face. You can't do it. But they took announcement pictures, pregnancy announcement pictures on Instagram. It was actually quite cute. But
very happy.
But good congratulations to Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara on your
Ty Mello. I'll have you know, Ty Mello.
Sorry.
No, it is no longer Conti. It's Ty Mello. Mellow. Anyway, so I like this match though because I feel like everyone had a role in it. Jungle Boy Jack Perry was the most interesting person I thought in this match because there was a spot where he had the AEW World Championship in his hands. He was about to hit Darby Allin. He looked conflicted. The entire arena is chanting, "Hit him, yes." Hit him. Yes. Hit him. Yes. We are behind him, doing it. And he throws it down. Doesn't look like Jungle Boy has that edge just yet.
Just yet, no. Not yet. I thought it was a good sell. I thought it was something they can work on, honestly. And I think that's pretty much what this match was. This match was developing the three pillars more and more. You know what I mean? Like building on their character, building on their edge. For those that didn't have one, Darby Allin already had an edge. Jack
He
Perry did not.
fell, bum 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 bum, onto a truck of thumbtacks, bum 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 bum. Oh, he fell from an airplane onto a table, bum 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 bum. Oh, he fell. And he also came out as Elvis at Double or Nothing. Bum 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 bum
That's what
bum.
happened. Yeah, you
Um,
fall, come back as Elvis. Happens.
I think okay. For time's sake, this is gonna be the last thing we talk about on this pay per view
Okay.
subject. Um, we cannot talk about Double or Nothing if we don't talk about Jade Cargill.
Yes. Yes.
She obviously beat Ty Valkyrie. Chris Statlander then makes her return, answering an open challenge that Smart Mark Sterling laid out, and beat Jade in 48 seconds to become the new TBS champion. Trevor, what are your thoughts?
So it's funny because we did talk about this. We mentioned this actually not too long ago that we thought she would be the one, should have been the one to take the title from Jade Cargill. Um, we knew Ty Valkyrie was not going to beat her. She probably shouldn't have been in the match. But I honestly think it was kind of, I feel like I was kind of cheated because I would have loved to see a full match with Chris Statlander and Jade Cargill. Still same outcome, but I would have loved to see a full match with it. Now I feel like if they run it back, you at least get the match, but the payoff isn't as good as it would have been. You know what I mean? If it just would have did the full match before then. But good for Chris Statlander. I'm glad to see she's healthy. Glad to see her back. I love Chris Statlander. We both like her. We both talk about it a lot. But like, yeah, I mean, if for what it was a good match, it just wasn't. I feel like Statlander got cheated a little bit, just a little, and the fans did too.
So I understand why people are upset about this, and it makes sense. Like
Yeah,
Jade Cargill just got to 60 wins straight to begin her career, and then you just have her lose like in 48 seconds. I think this was one of those things where you were either really gonna like it or
oh,
you
you really
really
hate
weren't.
it. Yeah,
And personally, I really loved it, and for two reasons. Number one, you mentioned it. Statlander got a huge, well-deserved victory upon her return,
absolutely.
immediately making her matter in the grand scheme of things and making that belt matter even more than it was. Because let's be honest, right? I've loved Jade Cargill's title reign.
I did
Last
too.
few feuds,
It, it is going to go down as one of the best female title reigns of all time, or women title reigns of all
for
time.
sure.
But
Last few feuds, though, Ty Valkyrie included, haven't been great.
nope, not at all.
Because there hasn't been a threat to the belt. There hasn't been a threat to Jade Cargill. And I like this because it makes Statlander seem important. And I also think it adds another element to Jade's character. And I think like that's my thing, right? I think it was just time to do something
Oh,
to
absolutely.
evolve the character past I'm Jade Cargill and I just win. I think this allows you to do more with her character. This allows her to like having to deal with this loss and build this up into a feud. And on top of that, one thing's for damn sure, the AEW women's division really needed some change. I think we all kind of agree on that, right?
Definitely.
I think this moment, like regardless of how you feel about the way Jade's title reign ended, I think for the most part, people were really happy about Stat winning.
Oh, yeah. I'm like I said, I'm not upset that she won. I just feel like it was, I guess, cheap to a degree because I feel like both of them in a match would be a full match would be amazing to see, and I would have wanted to see it. I'm not upset with the title reign, and then I'm not upset with Statlander winning. I honestly believe that, like you said it verbatim, that it was time for Jay Cargill to stop being the hunted and start being the hunter.
Mm.
And
Mm.
and So I really think this is a great push for the women's division and a great add on to it. And now you have probably the biggest threat for any title with Chris Statlander back. So great on both ways.
See what I'm doing right now?
You fat it off. Hot take.
Ooh, that heat. No. That was bars. It's like
Hey.
become the fudge being the hunted. I'm gonna be the hunter. Ooh.
I mean, it
Don
makes
DeMarco. Don DeMarco.
It makes more sense that way, man. Like I would love to see Jade Cargill go for the world belt, like the women's world belt. I would love to see that.
Well, I think there's one person in line before her. You want to guess who it is?
Who?
Thunder Rosa.
Is he back Rosa?
That's how her song goes.
If she actually wins it again, which I wouldn't be upset about, I hope they do better this go around. Honestly,
I don't think she'll win it. I think Toni Storm will keep it and then end up losing it to Jade Cargill.
Yeah, probably.
Last thing we got to talk about, because I'm sorry, I do have to run after after 1 hour of the show.
No problem.
Is this Vince McMahon update? I want to get your thoughts on Vince. Vince update, baby. So Vince McMahon, Trevor, for the past little while, according to Fightful and a few other sources, has been remotely from his computer, changing the script, changing things on Raw and SmackDown, making adjustments. And we've kind of known about this, right? Like, it's been happening. You could tell with some of the show. According to Fightful Select, WWE talent are said to still be, quote, on guard about possible Vince McMahon appearances backstage at TV tapings. Many superstars are in a, quote, wait-and-see mode after Vince returned physically backstage after WrestleMania 39, and he's been making changes ever since. Personally, I think this is the natural next step, that Vince would just be like, I'm back.
But, oh, yeah. It's going to happen, unfortunately.
Right? It's going to happen.
I mean, anybody can tell who's been writing the show for the past couple weeks. Like, come on. Like, who can't tell that? Like, let's see, the endless Brock Lesnar and Cody feud that will never, ever, and I mean ever, win.
You mean the feud that didn't end? And now they're just doing separate things?
Didn't have to start. Like, that crap. Is anyone else sick of watching Ricochet wrestle The Miz? Anyone else? Anyone? I am.
Yo, did you see that Miz video that's making its rounds on social media? Like, of him, like, oh my God, Miz, he did a Hurricane Rana. He's the greatest wrestler of this generation. I was like, all right, he did a Hurricane Rana. It's cool. That's genuinely cool that Miz came up with 3 more moves.
And, I mean, he needed at least 3. He needed at least 3.
Look, people are going to take that in a bad way. I don't mean it in a bad. I think Miz is actually, like, he's a Hall of Famer. Like, he's been entertaining during times in his career, and I think he's been unfairly criticized during times in his career. But, like, let's be honest, like, guys, Miz doing those moves is cool, but it's not like he's breaking new ground. Oh my God, Miz invented the Hurricane Rana. Like, sir, calm down. Bring it back down.
He definitely did. You didn't know that? The Miz Rana,
Now, if Miz does, now here's the thing, right? If I ever see Miz do a Canadian destroyer off the top of a steel cage through a table,
he will die.
Yes. You know what? Yes. It's exactly what happened in that situation. You know who wouldn't, though? Ray Phoenix or Penta. Penta would just roll through and be like, Zeta! He would go do a complete roll through.
I'm convinced that Ray Phoenix could jump off the Empire State Building and like literally survive.
Don't give him any ideas. Do not give him any ideas. They're going to New York in a little bit. Don't give him any ideas.
But yeah, like Vince, just leave it alone. Everyone's tired of you. Everyone's tired. We're tired of reporting about you. You're getting to the same level as CM Punk. I'm sick of talking about both of you.
We're gonna be talking about CM Punk a lot because it looks like he's returning. That show was announced for the United Center.
Oh, it was? Yeah.
And Tony Khan was asked about Punk, right? And Tony Khan is here's what I do appreciate about Tony Khan. Even when he talks, usually at least, when he talks about things that he shouldn't or can't talk about, he gives you insight into what he's thinking about.
Yeah, it never really comes out and say it, but still.
You could 100%. It's great that Vince doesn't have enough money to buy AEW. I mean, look, there's always a price. I don't care what Tony Khan tells you. There is always a price. If Tony Khan got offered $10 billion for AEW by like Saudi Arabia, you'd have to think about it.
He would have to think about it, but I think the answer will still be no.
Yeah, I mean, look, 20 now. If someone offered $20 billion, he's selling the company.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, I'd sell my left foot for $20 million.
I'd sell my left pinky for $20.
I sold myself for a taco once. It was delicious.
Well, you're going to hell. Just the truth, sir. What were we talking about? But yeah, no, yeah, Phil Brooks. But Tony Khan answered the question about CM Punk, and he was just like, "Well, their decision. Well, we have the roster that we have, and there things can change, and we'll see what happens. I'm just really excited about the first ever Collision in Chicago, United Center. Like he was just like on it. He was like, "Yo, this dude." This dude, he should have done this. He should have been like, get the wink, like all that stuff. He should have done that because I'm just like, yeah, you might as well have like.
You pretty much had a sign on your chest that says Phil Brooks is coming back.
This is gonna be interesting because look, he's coming back now. Like, he's coming back. It's happening. The only question is like what do you do now that you have him? Like, it's one thing to have him, right? It's like, how do you bring him back?
I don't know. What could he add? Like, what capacity do you want to bring him in?
I mean, he's gonna have to challenge MJF for the belt at some point. I think that's gonna be the match at all out in Chicago. It's gonna be Punk versus MJF.
He better not win it.
He won't. No, I think they have to do the feud though because he's got to go after the belt that he never lost.
True, because that was now. You know what they could do, which would be interesting, like do the whole 2-belt thing again. Both of them had 2-belt, 1-belt. No, they could do that.
I'm so sick of the interim.
I hate it. I hate it too, but like I don't know.
I think you could have Punk come out and say, I'm the real champion because you didn't beat me, blah blah blah. Like, that's fine. All right, like that's fine. I think he could cut the promo and be like, and call himself the real champion. Right. I just don't want him to have that damn belt around. Like, I don't want that. No, like I don't want the interim, all that stupid stuff.
Like MJF, bring me my belt because it belongs to me or something like that. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yes, exactly. I think that's fine. But man, I really don't know. I don't want interim champions. I mean, it makes sense if you're trying to sell at the United Center.
Right. But the interim champion thing has been done to death, and I'm actually sick of it when it comes to like boxing or MMA, but like definitely in wrestling.
Tony Khan ruined the interim championship. Here's the thing, you know why? They didn't need it. The first time they used it, they really didn't need it.
No.
Because I believe Cody was dealing with like a family matter or something, or maybe he was sick. And like he missed like Battle of the Belts, and they had like an interim champion crowned Sammy Guevara for like 2 weeks. And I was like, You didn't need the interim for this. You really didn't. You really didn't. Like you could have just been like, number one contender match. You know,
I feel
faces
like
Cody on
the
Dynamite in 2 weeks.
conversation really like got out of hand with the whole Tony Storm thing because they were not calling her the champion at all. She was just interim, and they actually said it within like one of their like little announcements they were having. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's
She was interim champ for like 3 months too.
yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
Yep, it was. I fully agree. But yeah, we'll see. Are you excited though about CM Punk coming back, or are you just kind of like, eh?
I will hold my skepticism and my enthusiasm to when I see him actually back, because I believe. Here's the thing: I don't believe that lightning will strike twice, but I want to see a remorseful Phil Brooks, which I know I probably won't, but I want to see exactly what they're planning on. Look, don't get me wrong. CM Punk on TV is always good TV, always.
People are gonna watch.
Whether he's eating a muffin and cussing people out, or he's just being Phil Brooks. But I don't want the CM Punk love fest. I don't want that again. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. Don't want to see it again. And at this point, I don't think it fits your character that you just built. I don't want to see it. But I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch at least to see what chaos and happens.
Let's see. So ticket sales for their first ever Collision tickets went on sale just I think 4 days ago, and they've sold 6,500 tickets. Not bad.
Not bad. How much are the tickets going for?
I don't even know. Originally I said I was gonna go, but I'm not going to this. I cannot. No. I think there's a show in like Newark that I'm ironically going to be like in New York for work that weekend, okay. So I might just end up like crashing at my friends and going to that show. What?
Newark, Jersey?
Yeah, it's in Newark, New Jersey.
We'll talk. I might meet you up there.
You got to talk about this show in like 2 weeks that we got. Are we going to the show or not?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna grab us tickets.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right, cool. Because otherwise, if we try to like plan this, we're not gonna plan it. No one's gonna go.
Lazy as hell.
Yeah. All right, I'll grab us some tickets. Anyway, guys. Well, Trevor, what are you watching? Go.
Nothing lately. I've been watching To Buy You.
I've been watching the inside of my eyelids. That's what I've been watching.
Yeah, I haven't been really watching anything lately. I've just been on vacation. And I literally took vacation seriously this time. I didn't do a damn thing when it came to work or anything.
Good.
People were sending me emails. I was literally telling them to go screw themselves. But yeah, I'm not really watching anything. How about you?
Everything. I watched the finale of Succession. I did watch the.
How'd that go?
It was really good. I liked it. Wait, is Dark Side of the Ring back tonight?
Is it tonight or was it tomorrow night?
I thought it was next week.
That's what I thought.
Or don't they usually have it like after? Oh wait, oh God! Someone tell me what's true. What's the truth?
Tell me the truth, damn it.
Let's see. So Dark Side of the Ring, season 4. Oh, it's Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch. That's tonight.
What time? 10?
I think so.
That's going to be a really good one.
Oh, next week's episode is on Magnum TA.
Ooh, that's a good one too. That's my brother's favorite wrestler. One of them, anyway.
Whoa. Yeah, it's tonight.
Magnum TA and Farouk before he was Farouk. Ron Simmons.
10 p.m. All right. Well,
I will be watching that.
I guess I'm going to be watching that now.
Well, I'll probably be recording that, but we'll see.
No, I mean, look, I'm if it's not online, I probably won't watch it. Because I don't have cable. But I think it's on Vice, so it's probably online. Anyway, that I will watch that. Anyway, guys,
There you go, big yawn. It's been fun. I'm glad to be home. Well, back in DC. Glad to be home.
I'm glad to
Missed
be
you
back
guys.
near my bed, dude. I can't. Just I almost cry when I saw my bed. Like hotel beds are nice and all that, but
Yeah, they were nice, but
when you
like,
see your bed, you're just like, I'm
yeah,
home. I
you
was on
talk
some
big
LeBron. I was on
too.
some LeBron shit. I was about to write a letter. I'm coming home. Like I was like, I'm coming home, Cleveland. That's what I'm
Nothing
gonna
like
call my
your own
bed.
bed.
I'm gonna call my bed Cleveland. I'm like, Cleveland, this is for you.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh man, thank you, Job. We really appreciate you. Love you too, bro. Hope to see you
Love you
soon.
guys, man. Hope to see you soon.
Trevor. Oh, wait. Guys, follow Trevor on Twitter at
Yeah, do that. Because I'm full of
TRVEERTAINMENT.
shit,
TRVEERTAINMENT. That is TREVERTAINMENT.
That's a
For
tongue
all the
twister.
latest Only Trev content. You like what you saw at the start of the show? Oh, you'll like what you'll see on Twitter. You'll like what you'll see on Twitter.
Nothing.
It's naked because there's nothing there. Um, that's his Twitter. It's naked because it's nothing there.
Dude, I'm so bad with Twitter. I'm so bad
No,
with
no, you are the best on Twitter. You know why?
because I don't post anything.
Yes,
Yeah. I'm
that's
so
what
bad.
makes you so great on Twitter.
I barely post on Facebook, dude. Like, I am literally a old geezer. I
Trevor,
don't.
the world would be a better place if everyone used social media as much as you do. Just know that.
Oh man, it's terrible.
Anyway, guys, it's terrible. So is this show, but I love it each and every week. Hope you guys are have a wonderful week. Hope you guys had a wonderful long weekend. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, keep it real.
Love those who are close. Hug those who are close. Love those who are far. And have a great week, guys. See you next week.
Five time WCW champion. Last thing I'll say. I was at a show once, and someone was like, "Yeah, come on, Bucker, give it to him. You're the 5-time world champion." And I go, "He's a 6-time champion." And the dude, I swear to God, the dude goes, "6-time champion." Like he does the Booker T look, and he goes, "6-time." Booker T's Titantron. Go watch it from like 2007, 2008. It's just him doing this.
Yeah, it is. It's amazingly stupid.
God bless y'all. Keep it real.